Welcome back to another episode. Ryan here with Chaos MMA. And today we have on Damon Jackson, who was supposed to fight June 4th, but now currently does not have an opponent. Unfortunately, Damon, man, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm prepping for a weight cut. My manager said that there's a couple of guys that they're trying to bring on, um, trying to bring into the UFC anyway. So it's a little bit up in the air, but I think one of those guys is gonna pull the trigger. So I should know something today, and once as soon as I get it, I'll make an announcement for sure on my all my social media.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into future opponents later on, but I just wanted to ask you first off. So when did you get the call though that Derek was out? Like when did you receive that?
Uh, Dude, so I didn't receive the call right off the bat. So I kind of always get like a little creepy. I kind of like look at everybody's stuff whenever I'm fighting them. And I was actually on Instagram and saw that he made an announcement on there before my manager didn't even know. So it was like my manager had no clue that it was going on, and I sent him a screenshot of what he posted. He was like, um, sorry to let you guys know the clash of heads in practice. Got concussion, had to pull out, whatever. But I called this from the day they gave me the matchup because I was like, man, this is a horrible matchup for him. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. There's no way he accepts this fight and actually follows through. So I wasn't shocked when I saw that, but I was kind of like, I can't believe that he waited until this far into the fight because here we are a week and a half out, and now he pulls out. So he puts the matchmaker Sean Shelby in a really bad spot. He puts his manager and my manager in a really weird spot, and then he puts me in a really crappy spot too. But that's besides the point. But I think that things will come together. I think I'll definitely have a fight. I just don't have a clue who it's going to be. And I already told my manager I would fight anybody. So whoever will step up, I'm gonna take the fight.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that, putting you in a tough spot because I mean the fight is about like 2 weeks out now, and
Yeah.
you're deep in the training camp now. So like, how did you feel when you found out like, wow, you're training for this guy, and now about 2 weeks out that he's no longer the guy. So how are you feeling at the time?
Honestly, man, this is not the first time. I've
Okay.
had this happen to me so many
Yeah.
times. It's just you've been around sport for this long and you have a good record. People kind of dodge you, even if they think they can beat you, but they think it's a tough fight and they're not really ready for the fight. Then they're gonna pull that injury card. But he might be hurt. He might have really got hurt, and it sucks. But it just puts me in a position where I kind of get emotional about it because I'm like, man, that's the way I'm making my money. That's the way I need a fight. I want to fight so bad. I want to fight consistently. I want to bust out three of the four fights I have in my contract. I want to get them done this year. I want to break into the top 15 this year. I want to be top 10 by the end of the year. So it's like, for me, it just kind of delays all that. And it's just selfish of him if he's not really hurt. But he might be hurt. But they'll find someone new. Somebody will step up.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you did call this in an interview before this and everything else. But when it was
Yeah.
getting close to this fight, you're this close. Were you like, okay, he's actually going to take this fight?
Yep.
So were you
Yeah.
thinking that?
Yeah, I was because also he just had a newborn baby. So I'm
Yeah.
like thinking, oh, this dude needs the money. He's got, a new baby on the way, or he just had a baby. So I was thinking he would take the fight for sure. So he might really be hurt. He might really I don't know, man. It just like it's annoying. It's frustrating. I'm trying to pivot and just get ready for the next fight, but I really don't know who I'm fighting. So it's kind of once I get the call and they're going to tell me that I have someone, then I won't care like what's going on with Derek. But like right now, I'm pissed off at Derek because he pulled out. But as soon as
Oh, okay. Yeah, something happened to the connection. Yeah, and speaking of Derek and everything else, I know he's not the opponent anymore, but are you still fighting on June 4th and everything else? Like, is that still the confirmed date according to the UFC?
well, as far as I know, with my manager talking to me and then talking to the matchmaker and stuff, as far as I know, they're really trying to get that replacement in. So
Okay.
as long as that goes through the way I think it is, yeah, I'll be fighting on the 4th.
Yeah, and speaking of opponents too, it is someone from the outside of the UFC, or is there that chance, it could be someone from in the UFC that maybe wants to take a short notice fight, like we see yourself wanting to always do.
Well, I don't know, man. We'll see. I haven't heard of anyone calling me out yet. No one. I literally I've been talking smack straight to people's pages, and I've even DM'd a few people and just said, hey, man, you want to fight? Like this is the thing. This is the situation. So no one stepped up. No one's responded. No one's called me out. So I guess I'm just gonna have to keep doing that if I want to keep getting those matchups like consistently. But um, like once Sean gives you the call, you gotta have the answer. You have to tell him yes or no. So if someone's not wanting to sit on the shelf, they might take it, but I doubt it. I think it's gonna come from outside the UFC.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get that new opponent, everything else. I hope it all works out for you. And I remember in our last interview, we were talking about, you never decline fights. You were always willing to take the short notice fights. And
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, as we saw, Cowboy Cerrone was out of his
Yep.
fight, and you texted Dana, and I thought this was so cool, saying, I want in and everything else. So I know
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it ever got close, right? But that was just still amazing to see because you were willing to step in on a few days' notice.
No, it was the day of.
Day
I
of,
was
okay.
there. I was there cornering Macy, Bernie,
Yeah.
and Matt Snell. So I was there cornering all my teammates, and I'm warming up with all of them, doing my thing. And like I did a full weight cut just to like get down to 55. So I ended up getting to 58, which was not that far, but I ended up getting down to 58,
Yeah.
and just to like prep just in case I could, if someone did get hurt or whatever the situation was, I was going to step up. And like I had all my medicals turned in. I was approved. I could have fought there. It was like whenever I got the call, we were on our way over to the venue. And I saw, or I didn't get the call. Whenever I saw that Cowboy got pulled from the card, I immediately told my coach, and my coach was like, he's like, yeah. He said, "There's no way that we could get you on." He was like, didn't really pay attention to me, and so I started texting my manager, and I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "I'm here. My medicals are good. Like, see if they'll put me on." And he was like, "Ha ha, I love you, man. You're always ready to go." And I was like, "Dude, fucking take me serious." So I was like, then I text Dana, and I was like, "Hey, man, like this is the situation. I'm here with my team. Like let me know if you would like me to step up." And he thought it was real cool. We had a couple of texts back and forth, and it was pretty cool. I just like I'm always game to do something like that for sure. And in that situation, I was just trying to take advantage of that moment. It wasn't like I was trying to call Lozon out. I was just trying to step
Yeah.
up and take the fight. And I can hang with Lozon or Cowboy. I've sparred with Cowboy a handful of times, and I can hang with any of them. So me taking that fight is not out of the question because I have 24 or I have more than that, but I have like 27 pro fights, something like that, and I
Yeah.
have a bunch of amateur, all my years of wrestling. So I could have easily stepped up and did a short notice fight, and but it was just too much to get done, like short notice for the commission.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but that would have been that's still so cool
That
to
was,
see.
yeah,
Well, yeah, you're willing to step in on that short notice, and how much do you think Dana appreciates that? Because he just lost the fight on the main card, and now you're willing to
yeah.
save that. So how much do you think Dana appreciated that?
I think he did a lot, man. I think that I hope that goes a long ways in some way. But like I wasn't really thinking about that when I texted him. I was just texting him saying like it was all real. That was like me being real, just saying like, yeah, I'll step up to fight. And I don't think he always gets that look from all fighters. I think that he definitely took notice of it. He made sure the matchmakers knew that I wanted to fight. So he texted Sean and Mick and said, this guy's ready to go, whatever. So it was cool, and I got to meet him backstage, and we talked for a while, and it was cool. Definitely, he was appreciative of it for sure, and I think that he understood that I was real. That it wasn't like it wasn't for media or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get a ton of short notice fight calls after this fight, maybe too. I'm sure you're excited about that since you are a guy that always wants to step in there, and we see it.
Yeah,
And I can't. I'm excited for that. And last thing here, thanks again for the time, man. You go out there June 4th, assuming that's still the date. You win that fight. What would you think about, getting like in there, like during like, international fight week on a big pay-per-view like that, something and then something
Oh hell yeah,
big pay-per-view. What do you
hell
think
yeah.
about that?
No, I'm down for that for sure. Like, like whenever I was trying to get the fight in Dallas, and so
Yeah.
they were scheduled to come to Dallas on June 18th, and something fell through with the American Airlines Center, and they had to push the fight back to July. So but I didn't know they were. I thought they just weren't going to come, and so I told my manager, I was like, hey, just book me on the first fight you can, and so he booked me for June 4th. And so when they made the announcement that they were coming to Dallas July 30th, I was already booked for my June 4th fight. And, it was really frustrating because I would have loved to fight here. So maybe I go out there and smash whoever they put in front of me and then, get put on the Dallas card on the 30th. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love to fight in Vegas on the fight week. That whole thing is so cool. The atmosphere is there. It's like it's through the roof. Just all the fight fans there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be amazing for you to fight in front of all these fans and everything else, even in
Yeah,
Dallas too, with all these fans. I'm sure that's be great for you. And for you, man, thanks again for the time. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to thank anyone, shout out anything, the floor is yours, man.
no, man. I always do all my stuff on all my social media. It's just Damon B Jackson, and you guys follow me on there. I have been talking a lot more smack on Twitter. Like if I don't have a fight, I'm definitely talking smack. I'm trying to get these matchups that I really want of these bigger names in the sport. So after this fight, as long as it goes my way, I got a handful of guys I'm gonna throw out in their face and try to get another fight as soon as I can.
Yeah, I can't wait for him, and I'm looking forward to that too. Honestly, I love seeing calling out fighters and everything else. And yeah, thanks again for the time, man. Appreciate it.
For sure. All
Have a
right,
good
man.
one, man.
All right, later.